Global Harmony Business Club is back in business. COVID can't keep these folks down. We're all back, and they got some concerts coming up. I want to welcome back to the program, of course, Valerie Geller, who's the musical director for that, and full-time conductor, I guess, as well. And I also want to welcome Shelby Wong, who's a guest pianist and a wonderful performer as well. We're going to learn all about the shows that are coming up and a little bit more about you as well as we go into it. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
So tell us about, you got 2 big shows coming up in November and December. Let's kind of jump right into those and what people can look forward to, and then we'll get into some other details.
Wonderful. Well, mark your calendars for November the 13th, Monday night at 7 p.m., and also December the 4th at 7 p.m. And all of our concerts are presented free to the public, lots of free, convenient parking. On November the 13th coming up, that is our Fall Classics concert, and we will be featuring in addition to this beautiful piano soloist, the world premiere of a new American symphony that was commissioned by our past president, Rita Holcomb. And the composer is Kim Richmond, a very talented musician. He's an instrumentalist, he's a saxophone and wind player, but he's also extremely talented composer. And he has written his Symphony No. 2 for Rita.
Okay.
Which we are going to premiere that evening. And then the second half of our program, it's an all-American concert. We will be featuring Shelby, who will be our guest soloist for the Florence Price Piano Concerto in 1 movement. 3 distinct parts. It's kind of funny when you're a musician playing something in 1 movement, but there's 3 distinct sections.
Okay.
And Florence Price is really an amazing American composer because she is the first African-American woman whose work had been performed in the United States.
Okay.
A very significant work. Both of these works are very, very important.
Sounds terrific. We'll get to the December concert in a second, but I don't want to leave Shelby out of this conversation. Shelby, you have been, we'll say prodigy, we'll say it. I know you're too embarrassed to hear that, but you've been a bit of a prodigy. You've been performing since you were just a child, right? 4 years old?
Yes, that's right. I started piano at 4, and I play the violin as well, which I started at 7. But that's how I got to know Miss Valerie originally, was that she invited me to join the orchestra when I was very young, and I've been playing in it for a very long time now, and it's just been
also
wonderful.
part of the family business, right? Both your parents are in the symphony.
Yes,
too, right?
that's true too. my dad plays the violin, and my mom plays the cello, so we're all there at rehearsals often.
And you are kind of an achieved. You're at USC now. You're a graduate, and
Yes.
you're teaching as well?
Yes, that's right. I'm in my 2nd year of my doctoral program at USC. I'm also a teaching assistant there, so I get to interact with some of the group piano students as private as well. So.
And do you have aspirations to tour the world, the country, and perform, or where do you want to take all of this?
Well, that would be wonderful. So I'm sure that performance opportunities are always something that are really special to me. But I also enjoy trying to enrich the minds of my students and reaching out to the community through teaching and pedagogical pursuits. So both of those interests are for me at the moment.
Oh, okay. Well, sounds pretty amazing. Maybe Valerie, I don't know why you let her in the group. That's amazing. An amazing background, amazing story. Valerie, tell us a little bit about the December concert that we have coming up.
We are reinstating our Orange County Messiah Sing and Play Along. This is going to be our 13th annual event. We had a 3-year hiatus because of COVID, unfortunately, but we're so excited to be coming back. This is a wonderful holiday community tradition, and everyone looks forward to it. The entire audience is invited to sing along with the Messiah. We have guests coming from choral groups all over the Southland, and then we also have some wonderful invited guest soloists. And what's very, very unusual about this sing-along is that it is also a play-along. And so it's very difficult for musicians who would love an opportunity to play this wonderful holiday oratorio. And so they are invited to, just blow the dust off your instruments, come in, sit down, and play along with us. For the orchestra, we do ask that they do reserve a seat, and we're very, very easy to find. Global Harmony Symphony has its own website and our contact information. Okay. It's basically globalharmonysymphony.com.
Easy enough.
And and email is contact@ Global Harmony Symphony.
Okay, so we got some great shows coming up. So Shelby, what goes into preparing for a concert performance like we have coming up here in November?
Oh, good question. So there have been a number of rehearsals going on. The orchestra's been working very hard to prepare. We have a lovely guest conductor as well, Apostolia, who's been leading the orchestra every Monday night. And then as we get closer to the performance, it's just polishing up our parts, making sure everything flows together, and getting in the spirit, I suppose, for performing.
As a pianist, as someone who's kind of an artist, really, and you'll sit down and I'll say like a Harry Connick Jr. might interpret a piano piece differently than you would, and I'm not saying, but they're different, right? So what is your take? What do you try to bring to a piece that maybe it shows a little bit about who you are?
Oh, well, I really want to assess the background of the piece and think about, for example, Florence Price, when she was composing the piece, what she might have had in mind for it, and taking in mind her own spirit as a composer, and all of the, I guess, background of the time, and then trying to make that my own interpretation of the piece as well. So as long as it resonates with me, and I think it resonate with the audience as well, then that's what I focus for.
Okay. And as the music director, do you take into account, like, okay, how are we going to put this show together that really reflects the mood of the artist and maybe the right performer to interpret that piano piece or whatever that might be?
Absolutely. It takes a lot of thought and preparation in advance. And for our symphony, since this is a world premiere, we've been so fortunate to have the composer joining us by our side. It is a very large work and requires a much expanded orchestra. And so we are very fortunate. We have students joining us from Saddleback College for this performance, and many other guest musicians who are driving in from the San Fernando Valley, and people who are quite excited about presenting this new work. We always welcome new musicians to the Global Harmony Symphony, and the president of the Global Harmony Symphony, of course, is a resident of Laguna Woods, John Stevens, and he's a cellist in the orchestra, many other musicians in the orchestra, and we really hope and try to encourage people in the community to join us to make music. It's such a wonderful opportunity and an outlet. Many of our players are seniors who have taken up their instruments for the first time as retirement projects. And they're always a little hesitant to join in, but we try to encourage them. Just the best way to learn is just to dive into the deep end. And
jump in and go.
Absolutely. They won't find a warmer or more accepting group of people to make music with.
Okay, so we got the November and the December. Recap them real quick for us before we go.
Oh, yes. Monday, November the 13th, 7 p.m., free admission, free parking, the Fall Classics featuring our guest conductor, Apostolia Nicolai, who's a wonderful conductor. She is also on faculty at Cal State Long Beach and assistant conductor of the Long Beach Symphony, of which I am also a member, and our beautiful soloist, Shelby Wong, on December the 4th, 7 p.m. at Geneva Presbyterian Church right here in Laguna Woods. We will have our 13th annual Orange County Sing-Along and Play-Along Messiah. Again, free admission, free parking, and encourage everyone to come out. And please support your orchestra.
There we go. Donations are welcome, I'm sure. All right. Well, thank you both for joining us. We love having you guys on the show. Love the fact that you guys are back doing the Messiah show as well. Global Harmony Symphony Club. Thank you very much, guys.